How can you become one with your desire? This is possible. You can become one with anything you want to create. If you align your energies in the right way and you focus on something long enough, it will manifest into your existence. The question is, are you going to concentrate on it long enough, on that object of focus, until it manifests? See, most people don't give themselves a chance to even let what they want manifest. And if it doesn't manifest, then they just stop and they say that, oh, this is a reason that it's not going to happen. And then so that creates a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to become one with your desire. In some spiritual cultures, they call this a Samadhi experience, where you become one with your object of focus. This is an incredibly powerful thing to understand if you want to be a manifester of your reality. And in this video, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. So if you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit that notification bell, because I do post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video. So this is going to be Samadhi, how to become one with your desire. Now, number one, what I want to talk about what Samadhi even is. Samadhi is just a perfect balance of being focused on where you're going, but also being completely surrendered to the process. That's what Samadhi is. It's, you know where you're going, you have a clear intention. It's a very precise intention. It's not random. It's not just like, hey, I'm gonna think this thought and be sloppy with my thoughts. It's not, I'm gonna very clearly set an intention in some sort of a direction, some sort of a creation. And if you can do this simultaneously while completely not being attached to the outcome, what happens is that you actually are eventually going to become one with that desire. It's impossible for it not to happen. Eventually, you will merge with that object of focus and it will become your experience. It will merge with your consciousness, in the sense that you've held that vision for so long that you become one with your desire. This is actually the secret to manifestation, is to understand that if you can hold a vision long enough, that it will manifest into your existence. And so what Samadhi really is, I just want to talk about this before I go a little bit deeper into the video, is it's a perfect balance of just being focused and surrendering. Now, how do you tap into this? Well, I'm going to talk about that in just a moment here, but just keep in mind that it's never a matter of, should I be, having desire, or should I be not needy and not attached to the outcome? See, if you're thinking in terms of, should I be in the feminine or should I be in the masculine? That's a good question to ask, but really, if you're polarizing from one to the other too much, it's going to be hard to manifest. So really, you want to find what we call the middle way. It's the flow state, where you're perfectly okay with where you are, but you also want something more, and you kind of even challenge yourself to become something more simply for its own sake. Because what else are you going to do? Like, what's the alternative? What else are you going to be doing with your life other than creating more? Now, there's obviously things you can do in life that are outside of creation, like exploring about consciousness. But, once you learn about consciousness, what are you going to do with that consciousness? You're going to create more things with that consciousness. Consciousness is just potential. And then potential then gets created into something. So just keep in mind that Samadhi sounds like a big spiritual word, but it's really just about understanding that you can become one with your desire. So how do you actually do this? Well, you basically hold a vision in your mind long enough until it actually manifests, which leads me to the second point in this video, which is that I want to share with you that most don't follow through until completion. So rather than me telling you how to become one with your desire, which I basically am doing it in this moment, I want you to consider the fact that most people simply do not follow through long enough in order for their manifestation to come into completion. They just don't let it happen long enough. They don't allow it to happen. They maybe come up with the reason along the way in terms of why it's not possible and why it can't be the case. And I'm here to tell you that this is just simply not going to be conducive to you creating what you actually want, because you have to follow through. If you want to create something, if you want to really manifest something into your existence, you got to focus on it long enough for it to actually manifest. And that's what most people don't do, is they don't give themselves a standing chance to even create what it is that they want, because they give up along the way. And that sounds cliche, but you got to realize that the only reason, in my opinion, that what you want doesn't get into your reality and you don't follow through until completion is if you believe in a contradicting story that goes against that, and you have a lack of concentration and a lack of focus. You see, if you have a lack of focus and you let your attention go wherever it goes, and you don't clearly define your vision and go in that direction, well, then the other energies are going to sort of sway you and pull you in that direction. And that's not like, there's nothing to blame really other than your own lack of focus and commitment and concentration to what's important to you. So if you can really commit to this and understand that you are the creator of your reality, and if you follow through long enough in order for it to actually happen, it is going to happen. It's not really something that you need to be worried about. Like, it is going to happen for you. You don't need to really question the process. You don't need to worry about the process. You don't need to be confused about the process and if it's going to happen or not going to happen, because you have that faith, you have that knowing that on the way to that manifestation, that everything that happens is simply another stepping stone to you creating what you want. You don't see any things that come along the way as a contradiction to your desire, because your desire is so clear that anything that happens, you just see it as, oh, this is just another stepping stone. And you don't even rationalize it in your mind as like, oh, this means that it's going to happen. That's one way to look at it, but it's almost like, no, you literally see reality through the lens of your vision. Literally through the filter and the lens of your vision. So anything that happens is going to be perceived through the fact that, oh, this is just my vision manifesting. And some people might think that's narcissistic or that's manipulative. No, it's not manipulative. It's part of being human to perceive things through a lens or a filter. And if you consciously tap into that, then reality will unfold accordingly to what you actually want. See, if you don't take control of the filters of your mind, then your mind will use you. Anything in consciousness that you don't take full ownership and control of, it will control you. Because whatever you don't take control of in consciousness, whatever aspect of consciousness it is, if you don't use it, it will use you. So the key is to understand that you want to hold that vision long enough, take the inspired and aligned actions long enough until it manifests. You don't hope, you don't cry. You can cry if you want. You can experience whatever you want, but you don't hope that it happens. You don't wonder. You come from a place of knowing. One of my mentors calls it not being confident, but being convicted in your craft. You see? Because if you're convicted in your craft, then it's going to happen, because you know that it is going to happen. Some people might doubt you. Some people might not understand your vision. Some people might project onto you why you shouldn't create that vision. But you know what? When you know that you want something and you know it's going to happen, you know that it's going to happen. You don't need to convince anybody else, because you're relentlessly so focused on that desire and you're following through that desire that you know it is going to happen. And then when it happens, people will ask you how you did it. And of course, the answer is you held that vision long enough, which it's simple. It's not complicated. See, these videos are simple for a reason. The thing is, though, that it's so simple what I'm communicating to you. There's such a simplicity to manifestation that most don't take in the simplicity of what is really going on here in life. People want to make it complicated. It's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe that manifestation has to be complicated, well, then it will be for you. But if you're open to the possibility that it's simple and you actually just focus on one thing long enough, it will manifest, undoubtedly so. But most don't do this. They don't give themselves an opportunity to focus on one vision, one goal at a time. One goal at a time. I'm not saying that you can't have multiple things to work on, but in my experience, if there's not a committed and focused and concentrated energy in one direction, you can still manifest what you want, but it's just going to happen slower. It's not going to happen as quickly. In my experience, if you want to manifest things quickly, you want to be completely focused on one thing at a time. So if you're focused on your health in that moment, then focused on your health in that moment. When I'm recording this video, I'm only focused on this video. All my mental energy is going into this video. There's no other thoughts that I'm thinking other than what I'm even speaking to you in this moment. The thoughts and the mental energy in this moment is being flowed through into this video. It's coming through me. My emotional energy is going into this video only. My physical energy is also going into this video because, of course, the physical body is the vessel for those things to come through, from the mind into the heart and then into the body, into the physical. And of course, what grounds all of that is the groundless ground, which is the spiritual. But see, if you don't focus on what you want long enough, you're not giving yourself a standing chance to even manifest your reality into existence, because it's what we can call a fragmented energy. It's honestly, to put it quite simply, no attack towards anybody, it's just a lack of focus and commitment. We can talk about explanations in a spiritual perspective, and I love to explain things spiritually, but really, if we want to ground it a little bit deeper here into the physical realm in terms of just a different communication style, it's a lack of focus, it's a lack of commitment, it's a lack of concentrated focus in one direction. Now, I'm not saying you have to be focused on manifestations. You can be focused on the present moment. But whatever it is that you're doing, you want to be giving it your all. Give it your all. That's how you become one with your desire, is you focus on it so strongly, with such commitment, with such focus, and you feel it as if it is already the case, like Neville Goddard talks about. You feel it as it is true. You take aligned action from that space, it is going to manifest. It can't not manifest. It's impossible for it not to manifest. Why? Because it is a law. It's the law of creation. When you tap into what you want, it is going to happen. Now, the third and final thing that I want to share with you in this video, again, I know this is simple, but I just want to say this before I share this final point with you. Please don't underestimate the significance of what I'm saying here in this video because of the simplicity. Just because something is simple doesn't mean that it's not powerful. So most people don't sit with the simple ideas in life. They want more information, more information, more information. No, just sit with this one idea and you will understand reality. You will understand reality. Sit with this one idea that I've shared with you in this video. Understanding what I'm saying at a deep level. You sit with that one idea for a couple weeks, that in of itself can be more valuable than reading 50 books all at once. Now, that's not entirely true. 50 books can be a lot of information. But see, if you're looking at 50 books and you think you're doing busy work by learning 10 million things at once, but you don't really take it in, you don't really integrate it into your consciousness, personally, in my opinion, that's not going to be as valuable as sitting with one idea, one simple idea, and really letting it into your consciousness. Now, that being said, I want to share with you one final point, which is that on the way to your desire, when you hold that vision, here's the key, is to see all obstacles not as obstacles, but as exciting challenges and stepping stones on the way to your vision. Because here's what most people do, is on the way to their vision, some sort of a challenge comes up. And the funny thing is that it's inevitable. When you're going through some sort of a transformational change or transformation or change of any kind, what's happening is that something that contradicts that is going to come up to the surface, inevitably so. Because when you are transforming, for example, sounds like a cliche example, but simplicity is always the key, really. I like to explain things very simply. If you're transforming, for example, from a caterpillar into a butterfly, can you imagine how challenging that is? That's probably very challenging, but if there's no inner resistance to that process, it won't be seen as a bad thing. It will just be let's just say you were a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. It will be seen as a very sort of natural unfolding of who that, what that being really is, which of course in this case I'm talking about a caterpillar turning into a butterfly, but you're human and you have human desires. So what you want to do is see that in the same way, letting go of the old self is not a bad thing. Don't see it as a challenge, or sorry, don't see it as don't see it as an obstacle or something bad or something that shouldn't be happening. No, it's normal to be experiencing the old self coming up to the surface on the way to your new reality. It's completely normal. And in fact, the more that you normalize it and set proper expectations for where you're going, then it is inevitably so that you are going to become a manifester of your reality, because you're not going to see the obstacles as obstacles any longer. You'll just see them as literally you'll perceive it through the lens of your vision, and you'll be inspired and excited, and it's not like you're not going to perceive it through lack. See, most people have a desire, and then what that brings up is the fact that they don't have it yet. But you don't need to. That's not inherently how manifestation works. You can be aligned with the desire without perceiving it through the lens of lack. So you can be completely in this present moment, not resisting anything, of course, holding that vision, and on the way to that vision, you don't perceive it through lack. That's Samadhi. That's having a clear intention, knowing where you're going, and what helps for me personally is to hold that intention and use certain affirmations and thoughts in the present tense as if it is already here. That's the key to accelerated growth and quantum leaps in consciousness and true change and transformation. Now you can do it linearly too. You can, if you're not comfortable with that, you can set declarations and go one step at a time. But if you're open to it and you have that belief system and you trust that maybe based on some content that you've watched, hey, if you don't believe it, you can take my belief. Everything already exists. Everything already exists. You can have that. You can trust in something outside of yourself to then give that permission slip to your own self to trust that, hey, everything you want exists. You can give yourself permission to fully embody that now. So what works for me personally is definitely to embody certain things in the present tense. And so while I'm embodying that, I just start to take all these sort of aligned action and intuitive sort of, I don't want to say intuitive, but it is sort of like an intuitive, inspired, and aligned action. And if you can really master this process, you'll be able to create anything. There's nothing you can't create once you understand Samadhi, once you understand the perfect masculine and feminine balance of life. Because that's what life is. Life is a balance of the masculine and the feminine. If you can balance these things, you will manifest what you want. So just to conclude this video, I encourage you to really sit with the fact that on the way to that vision, which again, you don't really want to see it on the way, you can sort of see it as you're already that version of you now on some level, but the physical reality is catching up. It's catching up. It's catching up. It's catching up. It's catching up. And then eventually you become one. And there it is in physical existence. And by the time that happens, will it be a coincidence? Will it be random? No, it's not going to be random, because you strategically focused on something long enough until it manifested. It's simple. It's not complicated. It's not rocket science, but most don't follow through long enough, and that's why they don't manifest. And that's not an attack. I'm just telling you that. And so what's funny is that I want to conclude this video by saying that, most people are going to think that you're lucky, or that, some lucky sequence of events happened that, you're lucky. No, well, it wasn't necessarily luck. It's that you were convicted in your vision. And people will say, well, how did you do it? Tell me the secret. Well, I focused on something long enough until it manifested. No, seriously, tell me, give me more. Give me more. Like, let me ask more questions. Give me and then just, they want more. No, there's nothing you need more. Hold the vision until it manifests. You see what I'm saying now? It's simple. People want there to be some, like the ego wants some like complicated answer, like give me the 15-step solution. It's like, no, it's like, here's what you got to do. It's like, Francis, how did you manifest that? What did you do? What's the secret? Well, I accepted the present moment. I had a vision and desire. I embodied it as if it was here now. And I followed through long enough until it manifested. No, Francis, come on, seriously. No, what's the real answer? Come on, spit it out. No, there's nothing else. That's how you do it. The question is, are you going to follow through long enough until it manifests? And are you going to see everything as just another stepping stone to that coming into existence? I encourage you to sit with the significance of what was said here, because it's easy to brush off something as simple as this and to want more answers and just to feed me more information. No, you don't need more information. Sit with this one idea, and if you really get this, I promise you will manifest what you want. I can't promise anything actually, but what I will say though is that if you get this, you're going to understand something at such a deep level that you'll see that you can create anything, and you'll be convicted in that. And with that, I conclude this video. Once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. Also, I do have a group program coming up in the next couple of weeks. It starts November 11th. The program is going to be specifically on how to align your energy and your life force energy with your intentions. Basically what was said in this video, and how to really embody this. I want to be talking about how this connects with relationships, how this connects with what people call sales. And sales, by the way, is just creating your reality. We'll talk about that more in the program as well. I'm going to be connecting the energetics of creation with pretty much every single aspect of life, whether it's in the relationship aspect of life, whether it's in the financial aspect of life, even in the physical aspect of life. And if you do want to be part of this program, be sure to apply for a free consultation that's in the description box of this video to see if you're a good fit for that program. And with that, I conclude this video. Also, please hit that like button for me so that more people can get access to this content, because I do believe that every single person on this planet does deserve to know that they are the creators of their reality, and that they can manifest their reality and do so in the most effortless and easeful way possible. And hitting that like button does help the YouTube channel push the videos out to more people using the algorithm. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.